Oh shit, are you serious? Ah. Ah, it's all over my shoes. Ah. Ah. Homelands. Ah, gross. Happy Halloween, everyone. Gosh, I've been doing this for many years, and I try to put out a spooktacular video at least once a year during Halloween time. And this year I thought, why not give back a little bit? No, it's not another giveaway, although the winners were announced, and you can see them when you go to the contest page. You'll see their names. This is a little way to spook up your Halloween weekend. Now, a lot of us a little too old to be trick-or-treating. Maybe some of us have kids who are trick-or-treating, but we still want to pay homage to, in my opinion, probably the best holiday of the year. Well, I came up with a little way to spice up your games and get into the spirit a little bit. So let's start with a common theme of Halloween, and that is dressing up. Or when I think about costumes, we didn't have a lot of money when we were young, and we oftentimes, almost always, would just grab things from around the house to make our costumes. We didn't have, these fancy store-bought costumes and things like that. And so Halloween is always a time of creativity for me. And so I think the creativity of Magic the Gathering often gets overlooked with net decking and competitive play. And Halloween is a great time to pay a little homage to that. So most of us have some product, some deck, some old deck, something laying around their house that just doesn't get the love that it used to. I grabbed a couple things, like here's an intro deck. Maybe you have an intro deck or a couple intro decks. Maybe you have these Planeswalker decks just chilling around, and they're kind of stale now. You've played them a bunch. Maybe you have some dual decks or something like that, and yeah, you've played them and stuff, but again, Blessed vs. Chris, that was unintentional. I am in the Halloween spirit. Maybe you have those laying around. Or maybe you have just some packs from an old set or something like that laying around, and you want to do some sealed or draft or something with your buddies, your fellow Magic the Gathering players on the Halloween weekend, around the Halloween holiday, hopefully on the 31st, which was falling on a Monday this year. So now falling on a Friday where we can pay homage during F&M, or, on a Saturday night where it's a little bit easier. So I thought, in the interest and spirit of reusing and becoming creative, I thought, well, how can we spook up these decks? And now, mind you, I'm not a game designer, and I know for a fact all of you are going to take this idea and run with it, and that's what I really want. So let's just say you have, well, let's just go with the Planeswalker decks. You and a friend each have a Planeswalker deck, hypothetically. My point here is this game is not really meant to go along with high-priced standard or modern decks. Now you can. There's no reason you couldn't apply the same methodology to games like that. And I think you should. But when I thought this all up, I thought about, how can we repurpose some of what might be laying around. Maybe it's at your local game store on like 50% off because it's sitting around, or you have an old deck that rotated out, or pauper decks or whatever. So the general premise is this: you each have some product that's reasonably balanced. That's why I tried to pick these, or the dual decks, or maybe a pack war or a sealed pack. I'd like to see them be balanced. Our intro decks, they're all relatively the same. And you play it. Let's say each of you picks a deck. And then, as the host of the game, and I would like everyone who's playing to get involved in this. Now, I'm the host in this hypothetical situation, and I have my Halloween deck, my spook library. And let's say let me shuffle up my spook library here. Mind you, I have the art skills and craft skills of probably a toddler. And so, please be gentle. So the game's going along. You've drawn your 7 cards. Nothing's different at all. However, in this game, each time you deal damage to an opponent, you must draw a card from the spook deck. God, I wish I would have thought more about the name of that. So let's flip it over. Now, I'll make these available. You can take my terrible designs, but I'd rather you take this to the next level. So you flip a card. Oh, we get a creepy clip art witch that says, creatures you control gain flying until end of turn. Now, that probably wasn't well thought out, seeing as though now combat's over and your creatures have flying and that's useless. So maybe you just do it at the beginning of your turn. Okay, let's say at the beginning of combat. I don't know. You guys can do whatever you want with it. I'm not a rules lawyer. I'm not going to slide my graveyard off into the exile zone and then bring it back and call a judge and get a free win out of it. You guys do what you want. So let's say for the sake of this, it's just the beginning of combat. Okay, now it's the other combat. Oh, we have Trick mixed in there. What is this? What did I come up with? You must eat 5 spicy pumpkin seeds. Now, I'm assuming that you, as the creator of this spook deck, has said items, okay? You can be as nice or as devious as you think your friends and family will allow. In this case, I envision some very hot pumpkin seeds. And so, hence the trick. But nothing really happens to the game state. All right, you're going along and you flip something else. Oh, no. Look at this guy. Sacrifice a creature at random. Burn. So if you have no creature, obviously nothing happens. You get the point. You get the idea, right? So you can do whatever you want. I want you to be way more creative than I was. But I do want you to play Magic around Thanksgiving, Halloween, and try to make it a little themed and a way to recycle the decks. What other super creative things did I get? Oh, look at that. It's a razor blade and an apple. Lose 5 life. Oh, okay. I tried to balance these out as fair as I could. Here we have a treat. Gain 5 life. Again, I would like to see, maybe you get to eat a gummy spider or something, or a real spider. Maybe you're into that sort of thing. Or we have creatures your opponent controls lose flying till end of turn. So maybe beginning of combat, you flip this over, and now you have 3 flyers, they have 3 flyers, and you're in a stalemate. Well, guess what? Now you get to swing in. Or we have a trade. A classic Halloween tradition is trading candy. And I think the trade card should represent whatever you decide your rules to be. I envision also like life totals being candy, and as you deal damage, you take their candy. Or if you're over 21, maybe beers. And this would allow you to trade your life points with your opponent if you're playing with candy. Or maybe you want to trade creatures on the battlefield. Whatever the rule is, you feel free to set it. I have another treat. Enjoy some Halloween-themed punch. Oh, God. I have another trick. Discard a card at random. You kind of get the idea. I think I made a few more. Here we have a ghost. Ooh. Revive a random creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. And I have... Oh, this is the best one I could find, because on Thanksgiving, we all know the houses that gave full-size candy bars. So I went with the full-size candy bar card, and in this case, you get to gain 10 life. So... I don't know what else I have. I have a couple of trade cards. Back to the witch. You could do as many of these as you want. You can see I just printed out crappy clip art. You could even write on these if you wanted, and put them on basic lands, and it'll spice up the game. I'd like to see your spook decks for sure. Definitely tweet them at me at MTGHeadQuarters after you decide to put them together, or if you decide to do some Halloween theme on this weekend, or any day is a good day to honor Halloween. Magic certainly has over the years with many cards like All Hallows Eve and so on. So I hope that you guys all have a wonderful Halloween weekend. Stay safe out there. May you get a few more treats than tricks. We'll talk to you again real soon.